Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. So in today's episode, we're going to be doing a video on request of Karen Look. In the description below, you'll find her channel. She's an awesome lawyer, awesome pianist, and a much more awesome friend. So if you'd like to have a look at Karen's channel, just go down to the description below. The link is there. Click it, like and subscribe her channel, and say I sent you. Now, this video was requested by Karen because I was brave enough after the last crash of my drone to attempt another fly-through. Now, please keep in mind that this drone is the DJI Mavic Air, and it is not intended to fly through stuff like I'm always trying to do, because it's not a racing drone. It is simply a cinematic video drone, and it should be used for those purposes. So please don't try this at home. If you're not well familiar with your drone and you don't know exactly how to get through stuff, please don't try this at home. But I am going to give you a little bit of a rundown of how I achieve these fly-throughs. Now, this will be nothing cinematic whatsoever. It's just purely to show you how I fly through stuff with a Mavic Air, which was not intended for that purpose. So I'm going to be doing a fly-through right through this tree behind me. The space is very limited, and the first thing I want you to do when you try and fly through something is make sure that you have a good line of sight. So stand right behind the object, and especially if you start practicing to do this, I would suggest getting something like a loop or something larger and have somebody hold it out to the side and then try and fly through that firstly before you try and attempt going through something like a tree or something tighter. You'll see the spaces that I go through with this drone on today's video. But before you try anything like that, use something larger. Just get confident first, go through, but have a good line of sight. The second thing that you need to do is, if you're going to be attempting a fly-through, you need to know that all of your sensors on the drone that will show your drone to be wary or careful for any obstacles in the way, those need to be switched off completely. So you'll be flying solo and you'll be depending on your flying skills solely, and the drone will not be helping you whatsoever. So if you're ready to attempt to switch off all of the sensors on your drone and you've decided that you want to attempt a fly-through, please note this disclaimer. I am not taking any responsibility if you crash your drone. I've crashed my drone several times. I've done some pretty stupid things with it, but because it's not a racing drone, I always want to push the limits to see what I can get out of stuff, even if it's not intended for that purpose. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to be showing you in the drone where to switch off all of the sensors, and then I'll also be showing you how to get this fly through the tree and hopefully not crash it again. Okay, so you want to double tap your drone to switch it on, and you'll hear when it's on. It'll make a noise. There we go. Now you know the drone is on, and we'll switch on the remote controller and the app on the phone. Alright, so in order to make sure that all your sensors are off, you'll enter the settings section just here on the three dots on the right hand corner, and then you'll enter the MC settings. Make sure that your home point is updated. Once your home point and your return to home is updated, everything is fine. You will go to the visual navigation settings, and you will just go and make sure that all of those settings, visual navigation settings, are turned off. Now, there's a danger in doing that. Like I said, your drone will not be able to be on the watch out for any sort of obstacles in front or behind or underneath or to the sides of it. So be very careful when you attempt this. Right, so when we're ready to update to get lift off, we're going to push both controllers down and to the right out. That will start the drone. As you can hear, it just started. And after the drone has started, now I will just take off and just lift it off the ground. And there we go. You can Hopefully you see the drone there. And we're ready to now attempt to fly through this tree with a drone. And that is basically how you do it. So you'll see that you've seen the recording of the remote control, what I've done, how I've positioned the drone to get in front of the tree, and that I have a clear line of sight so that I can make sure that I don't crash into anything. I've broken blades, I've crashed my drone so bad that the gimbal didn't want to work. But yeah, so just go through something bigger first. And then once you've gone through something bigger, then obviously make sure that the smaller you go, first take a drone, fit it through the space where you want to go, make sure that the blades are clear on the sides, that nothing is going to be hitting anything, because trust me, to replace a blade is a simple thing, but once a blade is broken or cracked, your drone will not do what you're telling it to do. It will just go off on its own, and you'll not get the required results. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope that when you try this at home, don't blame me, because it is a sort of a trick that these drones were not intended for, but it can be done. Cheers.